close your eyes and yes, close your eyes. And we are not in a hurry, but consciously you remember, you remember, you recall, remember, and if I say, you repeat mentally by saying place, position, and posture. Place, position, and posture, and then check your experience, feeling. If there is no change, if there is no change, you can repeat it. You can repeat saying place, position, and posture. What exactly we are doing? I'm just helping you to explore how these practices are applied in a real life situation. So, what exactly we are doing is that we are asking the intellect to press the mind gently to follow place, position, and posture. So, it is taking some time to explain, but it happens hardly in few seconds. It happens in few seconds during the day, even with eyes open. At present, we are doing it with eyes closed to get that feeling. And then you recall again, remember, and repeat I saying, I am comfortable. While saying, you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness within. That is why I am using the word sensation, comfort, and steadiness within. Means even if you are active, even if you are active, you are experiencing sensation, comfort, and steadiness. And then again you notice, you notice, you observe. So when you observe means you are an observer of all the thoughts, observer of all the thoughts and what is happening in the mind. This knowledge is not going to change because you are using the intellect. Knowledge is knowledge. Knowledge is knowledge, not going to change. Are you aware of it? Yes. Are you aware of it? If you say big yes, wonderful. You are using the intellect to take care of the so-called the default mind. I explained you, it is casual mind, it is reactive, it is impulsive. So you made a separation. The entire process of being comfortable, place, position, and posture, and being carefree hardly takes a minute. Because now you feel you are on the top. You are on the top of the mind. It does not mean you have no thoughts. Thoughts are there. Thoughts are there, but without any impact. Without any impact or anxiety or reaction. And if that is achieved in a minute, achieved in a minute, then comes the Mangala Charan mantra, may there be happiness, may there be happiness for all. Mind, default mind, I would say the default mind, still running outside, let it run outside, don't fight with it, don't fight with it. So again, if it is fighting, again you say, may there be happiness for all. So it means by thought, speech, and action, I am expressing happiness for all. And it is just opposite of the default mind that is searching happiness outside. So you can make a difference between between the mind, default mind, and the discerning intellect. Discerning intellect will continue to say, may there be happiness for all. Default mind may run after many thoughts, but your gentle pressure can change that. And that is what you are experiencing. That is what you are experiencing. How do I know? You shared your experience. You shared your experience that you remember the mantra during the day. This is what I wanted to explain. So now may there be happiness for all. You are repeating 3 times. You do it by yourself. You do it by yourself, the mantra. May there be happiness for all 3 times. Let the intellect gently say it, then reflect on it. So during the reflection, I find, or you find, if I'm saying that happiness for all, one way to understand that it means my thought, speech, and action will be like that. It means you have got rid of the unripe ego. Let us do it the second one. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. May there be peace for all. May there be peace for all. Gently you said. You are also aware how the mind is responding. The mind has a lot of other thoughts. No issue at all. Your intellect, you are conscious, you are aware of it, and you reflect on it. Peace is essential nature. It is intrinsic. It is permanent. My thoughts and feelings are changing. I need not to worry about it. If any thought comes, I simply say, may there be peace for all. If there is a thought related to a person or a partner comes, and your mind is agitated internally before you react and you say, may there be peace for all. So your intellect is dropping that thought, which dissolves and diffuses the thought of reaction that does not exist. No, but I experience it. It exists in ignorance. Oh, you brought another principle. Eastern wisdom has an answer for everything. Yes, it has an answer. Why? It is 10,000-year-old tradition. I told you. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. 3 times you did it. And I told you that when you are doing a Sanskrit mantra, you don't often speak Sanskrit. So it's something new. Anything new the brain learns, it rewires the brain. At the same time, now you go to the meaning. May there be wholeness for all. It means nor I am, nor anyone is searching for peace, happiness, love, and wisdom outside. Why? They are because there is a wholeness, there is a completeness. But the friends and relations nearby always seeking something because of sense of incompleteness. Oh, so I should not have a sense of incompleteness? Answer is yes. So let me check. Mind, are you seeking something outside? Or you just don't pay attention to it? Not only you recognize the mind is searching peace and happiness outside, but you also said the mind continues to repeat, why? Unripe ego. I told you again, intellect gives you the knowledge by discernment. I know you, your name, your country, almost your age, and lot of things. They do not change. What changes? The mind. I'm happy with you, I'm unhappy with you. I react to you, I'm sorry. Now I'm responding to you. So whatever is changing comes from the unripe ego. Why I'm not able to recognize and maintain the calmness? Where is the problem? Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. Intellect says, may there be auspiciousness for all. So every moment, every moment, event, relations offers an opportunity for entering into auspiciousness of the universe. We make it incident. How? By our ego, by default mind, and then we have unripe ego that wants to settle the problem, so called wants to settle the issue, event is an event. But because an incident, it is my incident in my life that creates an issue. It may be attachment, it may be aversion, it may be anger, it may be anxiety, it may be reaction. Event does not chase me. Come on, I will give you anxiety. I believe you understand. So this is what the intellect reflects. Okay, this event is for me to have a great opportunity to evolve. What happens? Cognitive change. Where is cognitive change? My intellect pacifies the mind. Change in behavior and attitude, behavior, and conduct. That changes thoughts, behavior, and attitude. That changes my thought, speech, and action. And that is the journey. We will do Mangalacharan and mantra for a short period of time in variety of ways by which we understand intellect, how the intellect can give the pressure to the mind to change the default mind, or you can say unripe ego. And that is what we are. And mentally you can say anytime, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, and was telling me that, why shouldn't I take the practice during the day, mentally? I said, that is what I wanted to say to you. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You can also say it mentally. When the default mind is not listening to you and it is repeating the same thoughts of anxiety, why don't you repeat the thoughts of Om Shanti Shanti Shanti? Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. You see, it brings a smile on your face. Obviously, you have understood it. So it is understanding. Knowledge has to be very clear. If the knowledge is not there in the intellect, the mind will take over the intellect, and then the mind will start singing the tune of the mind. That is what happens when the mind is calm. The true self, the observer, shines like the sun reflecting on the water, untouched by the ripples of anxiety and attachment. Mind continues to run after. It has dictated the intellect. Now the intellect says, what should I do? I'm into anxiety and reaction. So the first thing I have to separate, I have to recognize that my intellect, you are an observer. You are not into anxiety. This is just a thought of anxiety. Are you getting it? And then what? May there be Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Got it. You have broken. You have broken the relationship You have broken the relationship caused by delusion between the mind, between the default mind and the discerning intellect. You are in a fit of anger. I will teach him a lesson, and I pat on your shoulder, calm down, and you calm down. So just patting on the shoulder, you calm down. No, because of your higher awareness. Patting brings you back to your senses. You become an observer. Oh, I'm getting. No, it's not. Calm down. We'll respond. So, shoulder does not contain the mind, it is your awareness. I'm happy, at least you're not only understanding, but now no more anxiety and duality and a conflict, etc. We have to change it. So, mind's engagement through reflection. Now, second point. So, we know the principle, we repeat it in the intellect, repeating, and then we are reflecting on it, that very remembering the principle, or I can say recalling, repeating, and reflecting the principle helps the mind to change. And that can be done anytime, anywhere, in any situation, in any event. I think I discussed about that. What is an event today? It's very cold. For example, now the mind says it's a crazy weather. No, you are crazy. Weather is not crazy. If at this time of the year in your place, if it is a winter, obviously it has to be a winter. But my mind said it's a crazy weather. It means, I made that event into an incident. Event is the same. Still it is cold. But now I am disturbed of the cold. Why don't you bring the blanket and cover it? That blanket is the mantra. Are you understanding? That blanket is the mantra. Sometimes that blanket is the. I'm not talking of that. We are moving towards the choiceless awareness. Anytime, anywhere, we can be into that state of meditation. So, but how to bring about a change? I have to practice it daily in the beginning. Why? Question is why?
Cognitive
understanding. Second
understanding.
thing that the second thing is that I forget. I forget. So in order to remind, why I forget? Because of the default mind. Because of the default mind, I forget what needs to be done. So that if I forget, then what happens? I keep on repeating the same impulsive nature, and that causes the problem. That is what you told me a couple of weeks ago, that when I go to my office, as if the office contains your impulsivity and anxiety the moment you enter into it, and the anxiety enters into it. That is ignorance, that is delusion. So you remove that delusion and then you go into the office. I taught a woman who had the same problem, but she was a graphic designer. So every time she used to enter into the office, she was full of anxiety. She has put up fear. And then I started exploring. I found that she is not doing good with her boss. So I said, the moment you park the car in a parking lot, first do the practice for 5 minutes with eyes closed. Then while walking towards the office, you keep on repeating this, but you have to do for a week without fail. And the next week she said, then I don't have any fear. No problem. What I want to highlight is I forget. I need a cognitive understanding. So cognitive understanding means the right knowledge, cause and effect. So when the intellect pushes the mind, when the intellect gently pushes the mind to follow the knowledge, your delusion goes up. Another point comes about ego, ripe ego and unripe ego. We have made it clear. Unripe ego is very hard to leave its ways and means, because we have lived in a society guides our life and activities due to the unripe ego. So the repeat practice is demanded. Tell me anyone who has not experienced anger in his or her lifetime. There is no one. Who has never experienced the anger in his or her lifetime. And also tell me anyone who did not become free from that anger in their lifetime. At present you are not angry, so you are free from anger. But in the past you had the anger.
Yes, but I want my peace inside be like mountain.
Yes,
strong like a rock.
So that is what gives you the understanding. The anxiety comes and goes, reaction comes and goes, but I just keep the memory of it. That is what I'm saying. Anxiety, reaction, anger come and go. Are you sure they come and go? There is no one who did not have an anxiety, and there is no one who did not manage the anxiety. How can you say? You were in deep sleep, there is no anxiety. Come on. You are eating the food of your choice, the anxiety is gone. Can you tell me anyone in the world, including the Hitler? But my default mind repeats the old story, and I continue to live in suffering. I continue to live in suffering. I don't remember I got $20,000 as a profit, but I remember yesterday I was very much disturbed. But you also got $20,000. No, that's a different thing, but I should not have an anxiety. Simple answer: peace is not found in the world, but in the stillness within. What is that stillness? That is beyond my unripe ego. When you shift your focus from the external gain to the inner, you unlock the power to live with the clarity, calm. Okay. So the more you think about it, anxiety, reaction. I was upset yesterday and I continue to keep that impression. Mentally, I repeat it. The next day, I go to the office. Anxiety is waiting for me, and I feel as if anxiety is caused by entering into the office. Cognitive understanding, no cognitive. Intellect understands that lasting peace and happiness comes from within, not from the external sources. How to reach to that state? You have to practice without fail, not only during the day, but also every day. I don't understand. People blame and complain that they have chronic anxiety and anger. Can you experience the anxiety without a thought? No. So when I say that, why don't I say that I'm in peace instead of repeating the same thought that I have a chronic anxiety? I don't do it. Why I don't do it? I am living in delusion and ignorance. Knowledge must move from intellect to heart for real change. That is why we contemplate and reflect. We engage the mind. How? By reminding in the intellect, may there be happiness. For all we contemplate, we reflect, and then we find the change. We want a ripe ego to work in our life, in any situation. In any situation. So what I did, the first three steps of being place, position and posture, being comfortable and then being carefree, I have changed its perspective. In being carefree, I am watching now the observer and observed. So that will surely help you. Why there is an unripe ego? Do you remember the hot red iron ball? Hot red iron ball.
Yeah, but ego became not right because desire
Yeah,
for external objects.
yeah. So external objects, so I have a sense of attachment, and that attachment heats up the iron ball, my mind. And now it is looking red. Now it is looking hot. Means the mind is agitated. You believe it, or you recognize it, or you don't recognize. As long as we have any desire for anything in the world outside, I'm already associated. My consciousness is associated with the eyes, mind, and the objects. That is what the red hot iron ball. An observer and observed separates sense organ, object, mind. Observer is here. The very separation releases. The observer and observed merged into one inseparable experience, which is the root cause of my anxiety, duality, conflict, and problem. That is, I explained it with an example of red hot iron ball. An iron ball is not naturally hot and red. Mind is not naturally anxious, reactive, and angry. You wake up in the morning and you say, "Oh, are you angry?" Let me ask you every day. So every day, today you woke up after 6 hours of deep sleep, you are fresh, you have calm and enjoying. Are you angry? What the heck you're asking me? I'm not angry. So naturally, our mind is not. So same thing, iron ball by its nature, it is cold and black. However, when placed in a fire, it takes on the properties of the fire and appears to be hot and red. The iron ball could think, it might by mistake claim, I am hot and red. If the iron ball just imagine if the iron ball is thinking, oh, I'm hot and red, I'm anxious, I'm angry, I'm agitated, I'm reactive. Did you get it? Body and the mind are inert matter. They are not inherently conscious. They only appear conscious and active because they have borrowed the fire of true consciousness. This is what I am explaining you. The delusion occurs when the mind claims the ownership. I am the body. And it is hot. I am the mind. So I am the mind, that means I am into anxiety. I am this body, then I have the pain. Did you get it? You have to think. So it means you just reverse this. Iran is doing the reverse engineering, They got some missile from the US, fell down onto their land, and by reverse engineering they created another missile. There are a lot of people, discovery is only done once, and variations are done by the reverse engineering, whether you say it Iran or even US.
Yeah.
Why don't you do the reverse engineering here? Put the iron into its natural state and put the fire separately into its natural state. And now you know, I'm happy. Where is the problem? So that we can move further. So now you see, we use the intellect with the discernment. The viveka is very important. Unripe ego, to recognize the movement of the unripe ego is that unripe ego causes the hot iron red ball. And then the ripe ego, maturity of the ego, then I find, there is no reason. If we go back to the being carefree, you have to remind yourself, just be aware of it again and again and again and again and again. What is that? Just I am the observer and you are the observed. This event is the observed. This situation is the observed. This relationship is the observed. This thought is the. Within a week, you will find that you are always calm, the observer and the observed, unchanging and stable. What is that? Observer. What is constantly changing and unstable? Observe. Thought of anxiety came in the morning, thought of peace came in the afternoon, thought of joy came in the evening. I have to simply become aware, oh, this is changing, not me. Finished. It is observed. So observer is the knower and I am the knower. I cannot be known. I cannot be the thought, emotions and body. I am self-luminous. I self. See that. And we can use the example of screen, the movie, or the lens of a camera in the picture. Any picture doesn't stick to the lens. Lens remains free. Same thing, the screen is not affected. Whether you run, romantic movie, terror movie, Titanic, horror movie, etc. I have to remember, remember means awareness, means knowledge, means understanding. What I remember the unripe ego. Why? Because my mind is seeking happiness outside. It messes up everything. That is why even the J. Krishnamurti and other masters say it is the path of awareness. Just an awareness. The instant your mind says, I'm anxious, I'm angry, I have a problem, recognize this as an unripe ego claiming ownership of a changing mental event. I have converted that event into an incident, and then I am concerned. That is why I am anxious. I have a problem. It's a crazy weather. What I have to do with the weather is crazy or not? It continues to be the same in every season, more or less. So our masters are saying, reframe this experience. How consciously and immediately reframe the statement as an objective observation. I'm into anxiety. No, this is the thought of anxiety. I'm angry. No, this is the thought of an anger. I'm upset entering into the office. No, this is just a thought. Let me stay. Check. Enter in peace. So you have separated observer and observed. This experience is one of the higher states of meditation. But when we do it with unripe ego, we enjoy during the practice of meditation and outside. but after that we become the same person. So that is why we started learning how to dissolve this uh, undrive ego or default mind. Or you can say, many master uses the word you engage with the higher intellect. So it means when Buddha says the entire world is suffering, it means I'm living in deep ignorance where every moment in my life is an incident, it is not an independent event. Did you understand? You wake up in the morning, I'm unhappy, Again, the thought of the partner comes, I fought with him or her yesterday. Then then your mind reminds you of a bank account, I have nothing. Oh, she destroyed everything or he destroyed everything. You go on thinking. There are many people who keeps on thinking like this, and they live continuously in one reaction or the other. Think. At least we are lucky. We recognize we have a separation. So that awareness of a separation between the observer and observed makes the difference between reaction and response. Whether I react, anger, hesitation, fear, failure, frustration, response, peace, calmness, love, truth, and wisdom. Think of it. So when the event converts into an incident, unripe ego. Now unripe ego wants to control the external event, which is impossible. So I'm frustrated. I'm into anxiety. You go to the same office. Today also you go to the same office. You are in anxiety. Did anyone painted black the walls of your office? No. Did anything change in the office? No. So that space, observer and observed, and in that space, momentary pause lies your ability to choose peace in the joy over reactivity, wisdom over habit, freedom over bondage. You're free. I have to remind myself again and again that I am an unchanging, I am the real self of the nature of peace. And should I repeat it mentally? Yes, repeat it mentally and then become aware. I am not a fleeting movie. Mind, you have given me a thought that I'm into anxiety, and then just half an hour ago I was eating the food of my choice and I was full of pleasure. What the hell, mind, you are doing to me? Can I say that? Yes, you should say that. Think. Here and now you are in peace. So the practice, if you say, it is a play, it is not a struggle. It is not a confusion. Is it a confusion? No. But because the default mind takes over the intellect and it says, I'm confused. What should I do? Let me reset, let me rethink. Why? The sun does not need a candle to see. Why? The real self is always there. That begins, that makes you a seeker, and then the awakening becomes very near. So mature ego is a helper, is a tool. Or you can say the ripe ego is a helper in the tool. Unripe ego is a problem. Unripe ego is a problem. Or you can say binding desire is a problem. Or searching peace and happiness outside is a problem. You see, Master explains differently, but almost it reaches to the same thing, same. Now, why I'm not able to, why it is taking a long time? I explained to you the 8 factors. We don't know which of the 8 factors is dictating me on a particular day in a particular incident. Prarabdha might have converted the event into an incident. My past impression, my body, my speech, my mind, my intellect, we don't know. So we have a safe practice, observer and observed, and by which we can move so that we can know, so that we can get rid of each and other factors. One doctor wrote to me, I have a session today. He wrote to me that I have a psychosis. It appears my prarabdha is preventing me to reach to a higher state of meditation. How do you know it? You don't know. You know the symptoms of prarabdha. So yes, prarabdha you cannot change, but you can change when you experience the symptoms. You can change the symptoms. You experience it. Now you know it. And that experience is the observed. You can separate yourself from it. So then you can definitely bring about a change in the prarabdha. Oh, that's a good point. I said yes. One thing is very clear. Krishna was 89-year-old teaching Arjuna when he was 86 years old. None of us are neither 89 nor 86. If they can change, we can also change. If even at that stage they can change. The entire Gita is spoken when Krishna was 89 and Arjuna was 86, only 3 years difference. Listen to it and just, you can even write and make some points clearly. Make some points clearly, step by step, not only of the practice, and then you reflect again and again. So you have your 4 and 5 points in your head. The way you understand, this is the way I will take up, and the more the way you take up and then apply that in your daily life. As you said, you have started, you remember, and you repeat mentally. Otherwise, in the society, our unripe ego works.
Yeah.
Well, we just take it casually and conditionally. Our unripe ego works. So we have, or unripe ego works, or we go outside for fulfilling some desire. That is another way to say it. Default mind works. So that is the red hot iron ball. That is the hot plate. And that is causing the problem. So we can apply the mantra to awaken to the wisdom anytime, any situation, any relation, and then what happens? The life changes. But yes, the ego will create lot of pressure. The unripe ego creates a pressure, but knowledge is power. We have a knowledge.